Hey, welcome back to Jackalmen Games. I'm here with my best friend here, Ashton. We just had the most exciting 4 days.
Oh man, that was awesome. That was such a
Yeah,
blast.
we went to Miami, we went to regionals, and we just wanted to talk to you a little bit about it. But before we go into that, we want to give a shout out to some of our new subscribers because when
Yeah,
we went
thanks
there,
guys.
we met so many new people. And they subscribed to us. Like I was writing our name on a slip because nobody knew how to spell Jackal. And, but thank you so much to people like Thundershot Gaming, amongst Gaming Battlefield. He's super
Yeah,
supportive.
he's cool. We played a game with him last, and we'll have some more videos up.
Yeah, and K Dub. And then people that we met at the actual regionals was Casey HeroClix, who you actually played against, and Sugi from Knights of Ren. He definitely hooked us up a lot when we
Yeah,
were there.
Sugi's pretty cool, man. He was really welcoming. Um, yeah, and it's HC, right? HC with HeroClix. So he was
Oh
really
no,
cool.
Casey.
Casey, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, man, he was a pretty awesome guy. He was playing Zebre, I think, when he was there. He was in the top. He was in the top. I don't know if he was in the top 8,
He
but
was
he was.
definitely in top 16 cut
Yeah,
though.
he was in the top
Yeah.
16 cut. And he was real laid back, man. He wasn't nervous at all. He was just enjoying himself. So he was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so I mean, we're gonna kind of go over some things. Obviously the decks that we played, we've kind of already talked about. Go over a few things that we went up against. Kind of talk a little bit about our trip and what we're
Mhm.
trying to accomplish with these videos. So, one of the things that we're trying to accomplish is we're just trying to grow and strengthen this community. So, there's a lot of cool people. Obviously, it's Star Wars. Even just the fact of Star Wars community people, they're just awesome. Like they're all full
Yeah.
of welcoming arms. They all have this great love for the Star Wars universe, and now you meet this new crowd of people that love strategy games and card games and trading card games. And when you put those two things together, it's just full of some cool people. And
Yeah.
just those awesome intense matches that you get. I didn't deal with anyone that was salty. I mean, everyone was like really cool.
I
Um,
think I was the saltiest person in the whole room.
hey man,
Yeah.
would you place 53rd?
Yeah, out of 53 people. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, this we want to strengthen this community. We want to, just kind of embrace people with open arms. If you guys want to play, if you guys want to do some recording, if you don't, if you just want to hang out, there's people that are streaming. There's people that are recording, people that are doing let's plays. So we kind of want to do a lot of that. But we're going to start focusing more of our content in is more of critiquing our gameplay. So we're going to start progressing more into recording our games, and we're going to go back and do voiceover commentary, and we're going to try to see if we can pull some higher people in the community that know a lot more and a lot better at playing this
Yeah.
game to kind of come in and do some like voiceover commentaries on some things. So, hey, you roll this die that has, two sides showing ranged. So you got 6 sides of this die. Each one is 16%. So you have this odd of rolling this and this odds of rolling this, and kind of get more into more of the mathematical equations that you can get down into. That kind of helps you become stronger in this competitive area, especially with galactic qualifiers coming up and people trying to work and earn their place into the world champion spots that they have for the championship that's coming up. So people are trying to become better, and we don't want to
Yeah.
be those guys that's just throwing out content. It's always great to see what builds are out there and what strategies people are going after, but to know why they do certain things and why they choose to re-roll. Sometimes it's just luck. Sometimes you just
Yeah.
want to take the
You
gamble.
oh yeah.
But
But
there is a statistical way of playing, and that's what we want to strengthen ourselves in. So that's what's kind of cool about this is people can watch the videos, critique us, and show us some things that we're missing. So that's kind of what we're trying to be about. Not trying to be a reboot, but just kind of be something new, something different. So
yeah, one thing that I was thinking about doing is, well, we got some help with this idea, was to take our videos and then talk about the most influential dice resolving or the most
right.
influential role. Like Suki was giving us some good ideas with that, and I definitely want to take that. So it'd
Oh,
be,
that's awesome.
we'd put a gameplay out of us playing or us playing against someone in the community or whatever the format may be, but gameplay, and then we talk about it and go in depth, me and you, or me, us and the person that we played against, to say like, why did you choose to do this? Because, I didn't see what was in your hand. What were you thinking? Not in a negative way, but like, what was your thought process before that?
Yeah, because the biggest thing is, when you want to anticipate all the moves of your opponent as best you can. I mean, especially with easy pickings being out in like every deck, and
Yeah.
Force Illusion in every deck. I mean, you could pick those little things. Why do you want to re-roll this one, or why didn't you try to double stack the same range damage, or why did you include more modified sides of a different number, to avoid getting hit with easy pickings? Why did you choose to resolve your base sides versus, going with the modified, because you want to resolve more base sides because a Force Illusion is getting ready to hit the field, or there is one on the field. Little common basic things that new players are not so aware of. And,
Hmm.
a lot of people that want to play don't want to do recordings or don't want to do streams because they're so afraid of, oh, I'm not good yet. I'm not going to be able to beat you and I'm going to look like an idiot. That's not what this community is about. This community is about playing this game. There's so many character pairings. There's so
Yeah,
many
look at our table
strategies.
right here. Look at this.
Yeah, so these are some things that we went against, which we're going to get into. But so the next thing we want to touch base on is our trip.
Yep.
So that was awesome. It was just going to be me and Kevin. We are going to go up there. We're going to take my Chevy Equinox, and we are going to sleep in it. And we were going to stay in a Denny's parking lot, and we were going to shower in their sink, and drink out of the water
Yeah.
faucet. And that was our plan. Because we wanted to go down on a budget. We wanted to, not spend tons of money, traveling. We wanted to be able to spend money in things there, or, things that we may want to do. So a buddy of mine that I grew up with, he's gone by Rizzle My Nizzle for like ever. His name's Nick Rizzo. He was awesome, man. He ended up taking his van. We all piled up. Me, Logan.
Yep, my friend Logan.
Yep, and Kevin, of course, and Nick rode up there. We were like way behind schedule. But we went up there, and I waited in line at this rest stop for like an hour for like a small cup of coffee at
Yeah,
Dunkin' Donuts,
jeez.
which was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But well worth it. And that was cool. So, we're all hyped up. We're all anxious. I was just feeling like crap. I ended up like feeling super sick in the morning because like I'm that person that gets like super anxious. Like I take things too serious. And so I was trying to like chill myself out. So that was fun and
Yeah.
scary and nauseating. But I got through it.
So in front of us, we have our two decks that we chose to play.
Yep.
Nick chose to play Jar Jar Riken, because he was arguing with us the whole weekend on how to pronounce his
literally
name.
watched like 3 Star Wars movies, waiting for him to try to like convince us that it's really
And then what was his last one? Oh, Jeddah Partisan.
yeah,
And then Logan was playing Captain Phasma and Boba Fett.
right.
So I chose to go with Poe Yoda because it's something I was comfortable with. I went 3-0 at our locals with it 2 weeks before. I borrowed some cards from our good friend Charlie to run it. So I was like, you know what? I did all this effort. I have the most knowledge with this deck. Let's go. And then I ended up going 1-6 at a 7-round tournament because because of some. I wasn't prepared for Mill. I was just so surprised at how
And it
much
did very
Mill.
well. It did very well. I
Yeah,
was actually happy to see it because everyone I think enjoys different game mechanics. And Mill was just definitely different. I don't think a lot of people are expecting it there, but I mean it definitely was popular.
yeah. So all the shields that I was putting on with Poe and Yoda, it was like wastes of die. Like it was just like, okay, I could special chain, but why? So I had all of these shields and all of these supports, and they were chance cubing and just all this crazy stuff. And I just sat there and I was digging hard I wanted to get all of my weapons because I was running, like Loot Psych Saber and Poe Damerons and Canto Bite. I didn't want to lose those weapons. I wanted to put them on my characters before they got milled away, and I just sped up my demise. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, it was just like, and then playing the last card in my hand like a nub, and then getting hyperlooped or hyperspace jumped. Sorry,
Yeah, to end your
shout out to
phase.
hyperloops. Yeah, to just end my phase and die. But it was a rough day
Yeah.
at the card shop.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
me, anyways.
they were
Your
pretty
day was way
organized.
different.
Yeah, mine was different. I mean, I ended up hitting 16th place. Some of my pairings that I went against, which we'll go into further detail in mine after we go through yours. I had a very repetitive pairing, which we'll go over some more of that and why. But I did place 16th. I did stay in, I think, the top two table areas the whole time. Just strength of schedule, obviously, with Swiss. I ended up going 3-1, and after I lost that, that really brought me down in my strength of schedule. So, and then it kind of hit back again, and then it dropped me back down. But anyway, at least I hit 16.
Yeah,
I
you
feel if I
got
would
some
have,
good prizes.
yeah, I was definitely up there. I feel if I would have took the seventh round for me, it would have potentially put me close to top 8, I believe, depending. I have to go back to the percentages and see, but I was like right there, a few points off from potentially jumping to top 8, which would have been cool. I don't know if I would have had it in me for more rounds though, because like
Right.
7 rounds and the breaks in between.
Well, they
That
gave
was
you an hour
exhausting.
before top 8. They gave you a food break before
Yeah,
top 8.
yeah.
And so if you could just picture, how were you feeling after we went to Five Guys for just some food? Were you feeling like you could go another round, or did you
Yeah, I
really
think
just
so.
want to?
Yeah, so
Okay.
we piled up with a bunch of guys from Tampa and Sugi, and we went to Five Guys, which was there in the plaza we stayed in, and we just kind of chilled out there for a little bit, and I think that was energizing, you know.
Yeah, we just got some fries and some sodas,
Yeah.
and generally we just were quiet and calm and in a different room than the one we've been in for
But
6 hours.
here's something that I think definitely helped. So here's something that was really cool. So when we get there, right, we're all piled up in this van. We get down to Miami. It's like what, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
So we get there, and Nick's like, "Hey, we're gonna go say hi to some family." So we get down there to his family's house, and they're in this most beautiful
yeah.
house in Miami. Like this guy's makes crazy money, and I doubt he's watching this, so he's probably not gonna care the time I listen. Oh man, it was just awesome. It was
Yeah,
like,
like his pool was like lit blue, and he had all of these like projector lights out into his palm trees,
all
and it
these
was a
awesome
gorgeous
lights,
night.
the
And
outdoor
it had,
kitchen, all
yeah,
stone,
oh my gosh.
like
And
$1 million home.
so we're just standing there the night before the event, like we could have been in a Denny's parking lot right
Yeah,
now, but
no, we were
no,
partying like
instead
ballers.
we had a beer and just chilled and hung
Yeah, we were
out.
chilling, hanging out with people for a while. Then we went back to his aunt's house, which put us up
Oh,
so we could
thank you
sleep.
so much
Yeah, that was
for
awesome.
them.
That was a big help. We
Yeah.
actually got some sleep.
I had air
Um,
mattresses.
yep, I slept in a bed, homie.
Yeah, well, you know what? I loved my little air mattress because I was so tired that I fell asleep in seconds and stayed asleep for the whole night.
Oh, I know, I know.
Yeah.
So
So,
anyway, so let's talk more about now that we kind of go over our trip a little bit more, some of our preps. One thing we did do, which I definitely suggest everyone to do, is make sure you drink lots of water.
yep.
Definitely pack some snacks, eat in between each round.
Yes.
These are some tips that I took from Hyperloop's channel. For some regional tips, is he was like, make sure you stay hydrated, bring some snacks, eat healthy, which we did. We ate pretty
Yep.
good. We didn't eat a bunch of greasy, heavy foods, so that way we didn't feel crappy. We took our vitamins, we
Yep.
got some sleep, so at least we could think and relax and get through this. Because it is fun, but it is very lengthy. And if you haven't done a regionals before, which this was our first regionals, and
Yeah.
this was awesome. Like I can't wait to go to Atlanta to go to the Galactic qualifiers. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's
Yeah.
gonna be our next big event, and we can lose all we want and still gain points and hit stuff for prizes. So that's cool.
And the judge kept asking in between rounds, like, "Are you sure you want to take a break? Are you sure you don't want to take a break?" And this one guy kept shouting, "We live for this!"
Yeah.
And then we went into the next round. So,
Yeah,
and
they organized it very well. Like they had the
mhm.
35-minute rounds. They're right on the dot. I think there was like a 5 or 10 minute break in between each one. They organized it good. It was smooth. We got done with it fast. The only hiccup we had is in the beginning when they were doing the pairings, and we had to everyone sat down and got comfortable, and then they would repair
Yeah, we had to reseed because of errors, but it's okay.
like 3 times.
It's okay.
So
All right. So let's talk about our rounds. My
okay,
first round
round
was
one.
my only win. It was against Mother Talzin, Vala, and First Order Stormtrooper. That game, I was able to Planetary Uprising for the win. So that was awesome. I just got to say claim, and I won, and I was like, today's gonna be awesome. And and it wasn't. What was your round one like?
So my round one, so we'll take a look at it here. So this was my round one, was against vehicles, Ayla, Ezra, and Rose. So I'm sure a lot of people have gone against this or seen this play. So I took this the only reason why I felt I had such a big advantage of this, because this did go. This was a very intensive game. I mean, this I went almost 2 minutes left in time on this.
Yeah.
I felt that he played his weapons or his vehicles fast. I mean, it was very intense, so I'm kind of glad that he did play him kind of fast because he didn't slow play him. Similar to some of the other deck profiles that you'll see of the vehicle deck that did take top 8, he'll tell you about his strategy and how he played, and I feel that if my opponent would have done that, I would have lost. But
Hmm.
I was able to take round one pretty steadily. I didn't struggle too much with Obi Maz. You know, I have some mitigation. And obviously, I got those shields, so I'm able to get rid of some of that range and some of that indirect that kind of was splattered across the place. But it was definitely scary. So Vandalize helped me win this. Vandalize helped me remove his Hawk, and that really helped because the moment I removed that one Hawk, his next play he dropped his second play after he dropped another Hawk, and I was able to sneak in some damage before then and take it out. So I went Ezra, Ayla, Rose. I took Rose last. And I don't know why I did that. I should just take Rose out second, but I kind of got a little intimidated by Ayla because she's kind of scary.
Yeah, she's kind of scary.
Especially with that change, and I should have taken out Rose because she was red, so that way she couldn't have kept, altering the die of Rose. But I kind of became committed, and I had to just keep pushing through on that. And she's 1 point higher than Rose, and I needed to take out Ayla for some reason, so I did.
Okay, so my round two was against the very popular Hero Mill deck. Larcher took second place with
Yeah,
this
man,
deck.
close too.
This I did not play against Larcher. I played against another gentleman who was super awesome. I got chance cubed like crazy and discarded, and I knew I had enough damage on the table if I played my last Canto Bite the last card in my hand was Canto Bite, and I was like, if I played it, I'll roll out, I'll have enough damage, I'll take him out, and I'll win before the end of the round. I have this. And then I got hyperspace jumped, and it was just end of round, and I went,
Yeah.
okay, all
Yeah,
right.
try to lock you out. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I discarded technically my last card for him. He didn't have to work for it. So I was doing the order that I was going in was Jeddah, then Yoda, then Riken. Yoda had 1 health left, and Riken was on his like death's door. But yeah, I'm so upset at myself for playing that last card. I would never ever discard cards against a mill ever again. I'll just whatever I'm dealt, I'll deal.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So for my round two, my round two was against Seventh and Boba. So this deck was very popular. I mean, obviously you can see I went against it in round 5, and I went against it in round 7.
Yeah.
Round 2, I was able to knock out Seventh Sister first turn. So Obi Maz, it can deal some damage. You can throw some attachments on there, whether it's Shoto or Ancient. I believe that when I had this, I ended up throwing on Obi's lightsaber. It was either Obi's lightsaber or no. Yeah, I think it was Obi's lightsaber. So I was able to get some damage off of Obi, his 2 character die, obviously, and with the equipment, Obi's lightsaber. There we go.
Mhm.
The weapon, and I was able to take it out quick. So that helped. Then round 2, we got into Boba. I was able to stack up some more. I think I threw a Shoto or an Ancient on next, and then I was able to, get kind of lucky with the rolls on Maz. I could have gotten it even if I didn't get lucky. Just Maz's focus sides. They didn't have any quick mitigation in the beginning. I think they were too focused on playing the droid, the ID9 Seeker droid.
Mhm.
But anyway, they were trying to, get me out. Before I killed Boba, he was trying to play a Maul's lightsaber, and we ended that round pretty quick, so I didn't have to deal with that. Thank God.
My round 3 was against another mill deck which was Villain Mill with a guy that knew exactly what he was doing the whole time.
Yes, I played
Uh,
against him also.
yeah, so this was very intimidating. I went after Newt because it's either discard your cards or get less resource.
Right.
So I chose to discard my cards so I could get equipment out so I could kill him, and I did. And then I, for some reason, decided to go after Night Sister, which was a bad call. I should have went after Jabba. Um, but he had at one point, I'm pretty sure he had about 15 money on the table because he was chance cubing like crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna get bought out, and this is gonna be terrible. And I just got a kill, and then I died. I ran out of cards, and he claimed really aggressively on the last turn. I had two planetary uprisings, and there was 7 health left on his side of the table. So all I had to do was do 3 damage and then claim, and then I won.
Wow.
I had the Canto Bite showing for on its special for its 3 damage against villains, and he claimed, and I went, oh crap, I lost.
Yeah.
So I just shook his hand and walked away. Like that was, and that's when it's like, oh man, I hope I don't play another mill. I played a hero mill and a villain mill. I should be done.
Right.
So, oh,
Yeah,
actually, we gotta fix this. This
that's
is the
kind
wrong
of
card.
that's kind of tough back to back. Yeah. So, um, the next round that you went against was going to be Hondo and Poe. So
Yes.
we knew we were going to see that. There was a few guys playing. So first round, there was a couple of the Poe Hondos that went against each other. So I
Yeah.
think there was like 4 or 5 people who were playing, but I know that they went against each other. I think obviously Poe Hondo versus Poe Hondo, Poe Hondo versus Poe Hondo first round, and so that thinned it out a little bit. So that helped. I did not face it. I did not have to deal with it. Thank God. I was prepared for it. I have beat Poe Hondo before.
Yep.
I know some of the tricks and whatnot. I just didn't have to face it. So how did you do with Poe Hondo?
I just at this point, he stacked up like, what is it? The one with Jin or so on it. It's not second chance. Lone Operative. He
Yeah.
stacked up Lone Operative, and he stacked up Cunning, and I just didn't have the tools for it. So, and I was 1 and 2, and as it was just like raining down on me, it was like I'm like, all right.
There's a moment where I know that feeling. It's like there was a moment I was facing Ray Zeb, and I was like, okay, I'm done playing this game. Like, there's no recovering from it, and I had to get out of that mentality quick. I'm like, all right, no, there is a way. I got mitigation
Yeah.
for this. I'm prepared for this. Let's think about this differently. And I was able to come back a little bit from it because on my round two. I had, 7th Boba, so I won round 1, I won round 2, and I lost to my round 3, which was Zeb and Ray.
And that's Casey Hero Clicks, one of our newest
Yeah, I
subscribers.
actually didn't go against him though. I went against
Oh,
someone
really?
else playing it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I went against another guy that was playing it, and my problem is I, for whatever stupid reason, and this is kind of why like it's nice that I've done my first regional, so now kind of like I know what to expect and I know not to be like so intimidated by certain things. But I didn't have a chance to play against Ray Zeb. I thought about playing it myself. I knew certain things about it. I should have taken Ray out first. So advice to anyone else: get Ray off the field. I know that Zeb's scary. He's intimidating. Just get her off the field. Get rid of the action cheats. Most of you guys are probably like, well, duh, yeah, that's what you do. I knew that, but for whatever reason, I rolled high, and I got some good damage on the field, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to take Zeb out by round 2 minimum. And that just didn't happen. There's just too much action cheats. Too much damage was happening too fast. I lost my Maz very quickly, and I couldn't do much about it. And could not draw into any force illusions. Couldn't get any good mitigation, so he took the round because of it. If I would have knocked out Ray, I could have just quickly kept some of my mitigation, kind of hung tight a little bit, tried to take out Zeb, keep Maz alive as best I could, but that just didn't happen. So that's where I took my first loss, which was on round 3.
And then I got to talk about my round 4, so talk about your round 4 too.
Yeah, so on your round 4 where you went against Poe Hondo, I went against Ayla Padawan. So I went after the first Padawan because I was able to basically take out the first Padawan round 1, so that helped. Unfortunately, they were able to place a weapon on. No, hold on. Let me rephrase that. Round one, I did 5 damage to the first Padawan. Had to get through some shields because I won the roll off. I got my battlefield, so they ended up getting the shields. I was able to get 5 damage on the Padawan. Round two, I was able to get 6 on the Padawan. I killed the second Padawan with the one range side of Maz die, and then I was able to finish off their first original Padawan I started hitting up. The only problem is both of them had equipments on them. They went over to Ayla. Ayla got beefy and scary and just started hitting hard. And again, I made a rookie mistake. I should have just went after Ayla. I just those 3-sided melee damage. It's just like
Yeah,
scary.
it's just you're gonna get slapped by sticks
And
over and over and
my thought
over.
process is roll damage, get them out quick, take out that first Padawan round one, take out the second Padawan round two, save my mitigation as much as I can, then just lay back, mitigate some character die, stack up some shields, and then try to get some, force illusion or something to kind of help with that draw out, to keep myself alive. Just didn't happen. So
I mean,
basically,
you have 7 damage in one turn
yeah, oh
with
yeah,
Obi Maz. Like
yeah.
you, that seven health heroes are no problem for you.
So here's the story with this. So the story with this is this went down to time. We went down to 1 round. Had a bunch of people around us. It was a very intense round. There was an issue where I drew into a force illusion. I basically here's what happened. I truced into truce because I had no resources. I truced force illusion on my Maz, who I had left, and because he took out Obi first, and he actually won this round. I played against a professional guy that had like I don't know, like 5 or 6 different titles under his belt for Magic, and I was playing against him, and he literally was just like, "Look, man, like you played so exceptionally well. Like the only reason I won is because of just pure luck on these rolls. You should have definitely won this like 2 matches ago, and I don't feel right taking it." So he literally gave me the win. So I can't say that I won that round because I technically didn't. But at least he said I played exceptionally well and he was impressed, and that means a lot to me because I'm trying to get better, and I know that yes, he is a pro Magic player, and he was sponsored by the card shop we're at and sponsored by Ultra Pro and all these other people. So that was kind of cool, to kind of get some
Yeah.
respect there. So I did take it, and that was nice of him. So, but I didn't win it officially, which is kind of a bummer.
hmm
But I did continue to press on. So let's go over your round 5 next.
My round 5 was against the guy that was shouting, "We live for this!" in between each round. He went with super aggro. So I went up against an aggro deck that was rolling badly and won it. I went up against a mill, then typical shenanigans, po hondo, and then this guy with I think it was called autocannon. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. It has a +4 indirect damage side.
Yeah.
He slapped me for 9 indirect, and then he slapped me for 7. And, no matter how many shields I create with Po Yoda, I cannot stop 9 indirect. There's not enough health or shields in the world to protect me from all that. And I crumbled against all that indirect damage. Like, Finn 2 is scary. Finn 2 is underrated. Finn 2 needs
Yeah,
to be played more.
he's gonna start
That
seeing some stuff now for sure.
He is the scariest indirect damage character because he has 3 indirect for free.
Well, we'll see.
I,
I got
yeah.
another deck I'm gonna work on next. We're gonna see how that works.
Okay. So, and that was my round 5. My rounds are pretty short.
Yeah, so my round 5, I'm a talker, I know. So my round 5 was against another 7th Boba. So 7th Boba, I took out 7th round 3, unfortunately. She sat at 9 damage on her for like 2 full rounds. Like, this is the problem I had with Obi Maz, which Ron, which hit 6th place with Obi Maz.
Hi, Ron.
Yeah, hey Ron, what's up, buddy? So he played a way better build, and he played it way better than I did. But for me, I was having issues where I just could not see that damage when I needed it. And when I did, I didn't have the resources for it, and I just kind of struggled there. And I should have saved my cards and played a little different. But I did end up. I did end up beating this deck. I finally got Seventh Sister out, and then I finished off Boba, and that was nice. It almost went to time, but I was able to pull it off. So at that time,
Nice.
I was at 3-1.
So this round 6, I was like, man, there can't be any more mill at the low tables. And then I set up against Brad, and Brad's awesome. Brad has a huge moment in this story of our regionals, and he just milled me in 3 rounds with this deck. It just was so fast. He was chance cubing piles of money and discarding me and milling me, just every little trick of the book for that deck. And I was like, man, I want to build this. I love Padme as a card. I love her as a character. I know that, she gets a lot of hate, but Natalie Portman is awesome. So I respect Natalie Portman.
So
Uh,
how did he trigger so many discards? So he hit
so
the specials, which each time you hit a special, that's 2 cards. That's four cards he's discarding out of that, right? And
yeah,
then also he's discarding, let's say potentially twice with the
two,
specials from
two.
Yoda.
So that's six
So that's
cards.
six
So that,
cards.
and then he put on Yoda. He put this thing called Feel the Force. It's from Legacies.
Hmm.
It's Luke sitting with the kyber crystal, like a green kyber crystal,
Right.
glowing on him.
Hmm.
And that special is just mill 2 cards from the top of an opponent's deck. So it's
Wow.
a Padme special for free. It's a 2 cost one time equipment or ability
Right.
for Yoda. So he was milling 8 cards. So that's 3 rounds. Plus the cards that I draw. So that's 24 cards, and he did it every round. And then I drew my 5, so I had 1 left in hand, right?
Right.
So that's 29 cards.
Uh-huh.
And then he said, okay, you're a scruffy-looking nerf herder, which is a card where you call either equipment, support, or event. And if you get it right, and I reveal it, and you're right, I have to discard it.
Okay.
So he called event. I was holding something. I think I was holding Rend. Yeah, I was holding Rend, which is an event. And he said, yep, I win. And I said, yes, you do.
That's so cool.
So that was the 3rd time I got milled.
See, that's what
And
makes it so fun, man. Is like times like that. Like when you lose like that, it's like that's okay because that was really fun. Like,
yeah,
you got the
for him,
strategic
no.
plays, and yeah, I mean, it was cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I want to run the deck because it's a 27 point deck, and then he got to run the event where he has Lando on it, where he gets extra money.
right.
So and every deck I faced, every mill deck has Chance Cube in it, right?
Of
So
course.
he had so much money, and so he could pay. It's like paying for Padme is no problem. So it was 3 rounds, and I was like, that was awesome, dude. But please excuse me while I sit here and just
So
think
here's
long and hard.
so here's my round 6. My round 6 was against the same villain mill that Kevin went against. So I went after Newt because he was cheap, and Night Sister usually ends up taking herself out. So I took out Newt 2nd round, I think it was. Um, and the reason why I went after Newt is because I need those resources. I really need those resources. I don't want to discard any cards. That's going to eliminate my chances of winning because I'm milling cards or discarding cards. I really wanted to save the cards in my hand to try to discard to reroll to hit the damage sides or the focus sides of Maz if I needed. So I really just wanted to get rid of Newt, get my resources, and then I started beating down Jabba. The problem was I got Jabba down to 9 before basically I was out of cards. I did hang in there for a while. I did have him sweating. He was like, "Dude, you got me sweating, bro. You're gonna get it." And I ran out of momentum there. I started running out of cards. My damage was disappearing. There was only so much I could do, and I ended up losing. So I ended up losing to this as well. And I feel that if I would have went straight after Jabba, Sugi was like, "Look, man, you should just always take out Jabba fast. Just take him out, get him out of the way. You ain't got to worry about him, and then go after Newt, and then Night
Yeah.
Sister."
Did he get the Mandalorian armors up on you too?
Yes, he did. He played up twice. So
That yeah, he played them twice too.
that was
I felt
tricky.
like I played around them really well, but it still is just like, all right, you get to eat up 2 damage. You know, your Jabba's now
Right.
13 health.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah. So my round, are you good with your round 6?
Yeah. So you're round seven.
Okay. My round 7 was against my best, well, my really awesome, good best friend down here in Florida. I know I called Ashton my best friend. I could have 2 best friends. Uh, love you, Logan. Um, and we play tested this deck. This is a deck that all 3 of us built together. You know, he built it originally. I tweaked it with him, and then Ashton tweaked with
Yeah.
him the night before. And we were really stoked for him, and we knew he's an awesome player. He's so
He
good.
is. He's very strategic minded, and he definitely knows how to plan and how to
Yeah,
think ahead.
and he just shot me down. I think he killed Poe in at least in 2 rounds. And I just was like, okay, my Yoda can do nothing. I am 1 in 6 right now. Go ahead, Logan, you take it. And I signed the paper and went outside and called my fiance and just was like, today was rough, man.
Yeah.
So
Well, my round seven was against again Seventh and Boba because these guys from Tampa,
there were
they
seven
yeah
seventh sister decks
they
with
dedicated the
Boba.
deck build to Mitch, and I guess Mitch is a guy that couldn't go and kind of came
Yeah,
up
he
with the
was
idea.
working that day apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I mean, the guys did a good job playing it.
they
It is
did.
a good deck. I'm not saying it's bad. Earlier, I was talking to someone in the Discord channel, which you guys got to check it out if you haven't. Make sure you check out Double Blink's Discord channel and Knights of Ren. Awesome people there, very knowledgeable people. You got all these like Rebel Gray and all these people that are there. Grumpy Jedi's there, and they always kind of give their insight on some stuff. So it's definitely a good place to get some good knowledge. But I was telling someone that it's a good deck. It is fun. I just feel like Night Sister is a very big part of it, and I feel
I
like
mean
she can
seven
be or
seventh.
Seventh Sister, and I
Yeah.
feel like she can be killed very quickly. That's kind of the downfalls. Once you get rid of Seventh Sister, it seems easy to me with Obi Maz. Now we're gonna play against this more. I'm sure that this deck's gonna see a lot more gameplay.
Yeah,
Um,
especially since this regional.
so round seven. So here's my round seven. My round seven was kind of like I was like, man, I've already taken this deck out twice. I know the strategies. I can get it. It's not a problem. I know what to do. I know what to hang on to this time. And here was the story. So I was like, okay, my favorite number is 7, right? Lucky number 7. So I'm like, all right, I'm at table 7. Awesome. This is mine. I got lucky table number 7. I'm against this deck for the 3rd time. I got this. It's no big deal. So for whatever the reason was, Star Wars Destiny had a different destiny for me, and I could not roll anything. Like I was rolling resources, and I was not rolling any focuses, and I was rolling shields, and I was trying to discard to reroll. Like literally, there's a time where I discarded like 3 times and rolled blanks 3 times, and the guy's looking at me like, "Dude, this just isn't even right." Like, and,
Yeah.
I'm like, "So you want to start over? Like, let's just pretend this didn't happen." And he didn't want to do that. So, super cool guy. He did not. Yes, he did do the deck profile with us.
That was Zach.
Was it Zach? No, it wasn't Zach.
Yeah,
It
we
was
have a deck profile on Knights of Ren's Facebook page
yeah.
that I will definitely throw up here with this deck since it was such a big part of the regional and it was such a big moment for all of the Tampa players and it was a big moment for Ashton playing it so
Yeah.
many times.
Yeah, it
Like
was
this,
awesome.
like if there's like mascots for Miami, it's this deck. Like this
Yeah,
was it.
yeah, that was it. I think like what 9 people played it or 7 people played it.
Seven people played it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I couldn't take it out. I couldn't roll. I lost to it. And I was like, if I could potentially roll this, I could possibly hit the top 8. And I couldn't get it, but that's okay. And it was lots of fun anyway. So,
Yeah.
but that was my round 7. So that's kind of, the idea. You guys can kind of get a better image of this. So we're not bouncing around so much. But this is what we ended up going against.
Yep.
So it
And
was fun. I loved it.
so.
Super stoked.
And we're gonna do it again in May, if not sooner. So, so I just want to talk about our achievements overall. Like, overall, it was a successful day. Even though I walked out of there 1 in 6, I met a whole bunch of people. We got a whole bunch of people stoked about our channel.
Right.
We got a whole bunch of people stoked about our content, and they all like jumped on the
Oh
bandwagon
yeah, super
immediately with
supportive.
like without a question. They were like, "Oh yeah, yo, give me that, give me your name," and they type it in right there in front of us, and it's like, "Hello, everyone!" Like seriously,
Yeah, it was
it was
cool.
awesome.
Awesome people.
And the Brad is the one. He was standing outside with his friends, and he's like, "Dude, are you alright? You good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm alright." You know, he's the one that played the Padme,
Yeah.
and he's like, "You know, you should really talk to Sugi and see if you can get some content out." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know." And he's like, "No, no, do it." And so I went in and talked to Sugi, and then we got to do those deck profiles. We did 4 top 8 deck profiles with him on his Facebook Live, and that was an awesome experience talking to all those players about
Yeah.
their decks in depth. These are guys that sat in front of these cards for a week or two ahead of time and had it all in their head, and then they just got to dump it all out for everybody.
Yeah, actually, a lot
And
of these
it,
guys they were playing that deck for like a month and a half.
yeah,
Just consistently, and they, no net decking. I'm sure everyone pulls reference. Not to say there's something wrong with net decking, but
yeah,
I mean,
even
they planned this out in their head.
yeah, it was an awesome experience. So Brad, again, I know I thanked you over Facebook, but seriously, man, thank you so much. You were a big moment of my day, so
I think
appreciate you.
I think a big moment for my day, believe it or not, was Garrett. Also, Garrett was the first guy I went against,
Yeah,
and he was really cool, man. He was just so chill, and he was having so much fun. He played the vehicle deck that I went against first, and he was just really welcoming. So like that first round, first regionals, like, oh, this guy's gonna be a jerk. He's not gonna like, let up on anything. Like, oh, I gotta make sure I grab my resources, make sure I get my shields on activation. He just made it really cool, and just like hanging out with one of your friends playing Destiny is how it felt.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
there is, they do talk about how, make sure you do this. If you misplay or if you don't get a die, it's up to your opponent if they want you to have it or not. This is, the real deal. This is a tournament. It's not just a casual and store little tournament. This is a regional.
yeah. This is for real deal.
Yeah, so it's pretty intense, but I mean, Garrett made it cool for me. It gave me that, that nice chill factor.
Yeah, I played the Poe Hondo deck that I played against was actually one of his friends from his shop, so it was kind of cool because we both played like two halves of the same coin because Christian is his name. He was
Yeah,
awesome
yeah,
too. It
Christian was
was just
cool.
we were cracking jokes because when you sit down at a Star Wars Destiny table, you immediately have two things in common with this person. You have a card game and you have a movie franchise, so that you watched as a kid. So like you have your childhood share bonding with a person across the table from you immediately, and that's what's so awesome about it.
So hopefully, I'm pretty sure I got all my pairings right, my rounds right. Um, I've been like tired and wiped after this, so we put this video out a little later than we expected. I ended up like falling asleep by accident last night.
It's
So,
okay.
but so hopefully I got my rounds, my pairings right. If Garrett, Christian, if any of you guys see anything wrong, just definitely put it in the comments below. But
Yeah, man.
we felt that it was good to at least give you guys some insight about the regionals, how hyped we were, how awesome this is. If you guys haven't thought about getting in competitively and just playing casually, get in it competitively.
Yeah.
It's really fun. It's really exhilarating. Gives you that rush. When you win or lose, you can become a better player by your losses, not by your wins. So, just keep
Mm-hmm.
that in mind. I learned a lot. I definitely am feeling like I'll be a little bit more prepared. So,
Oh, heck yeah.
but yeah. So if you guys see anything that we missed here in the explanation or pairings that were wrong or round orders, just let us know. I think we pretty much covered everything there.
Yeah, just one last thing is we both made a promise to ourselves. I guess we could call it a promise to ourselves to just we are now not retiring these decks, but we are putting them away and we're not thinking about them
Right.
unless we need to. So all of our binders are refilled up, in set order. We don't have anything built.
Yep.
We're done with Miami Regionals. We're like closing the book on Miami Regionals with this video.
Right.
And so we have a whole bunch of ideas. Like the drive home, I'm pretty sure we were bugging Nick. We're
Yeah.
like, we could do this, we could do that, we could do this. How about this pairing? How about that pairing? Let's do this. Oh
I know
man, I can play this card.
it was cool.
It's just like
I was
we
like,
were
how
just
can I just
geeking out.
play 11 hours or 12 hours of Destiny and then like now I've got done playing 11, 12 hours of Destiny straight and I'm like next morning I wake up I'm like, so ready to play some Destiny? Like I'm
Yeah,
not
like
tired of playing this yet. Let's go back to the drawing board. Let's find some cool builds again. So
and that's really the cool thing. I'm not exhausted with this game.
No, I'm
Like
not burned out. No.
I played Yu-Gi-Oh before this. I would go to a Philadelphia regional, which is 500 people, and it was like sweaty and gross and uncomfortable. It was well run, but it's just like, ugh, why are we here? And then I'd go home and I wouldn't touch Yu-Gi-Oh for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
With this, I came home and I immediately was like updating YouTube, updating Facebook. I was touching everything that uh, deals with Star Wars Destiny the moment I walked in the door.
Yeah.
So this is definitely
And
something
that's
awesome.
one of the things is there is what these veterans say because we're not veterans, we're new to the game, we've been
We're
playing it.
fairly new.
Yeah, so but when we're talking like Sugi and some of those people, they're saying that hey, there was dark times with this game where it kind of you know got a little scary there for a little bit, and that's what we don't want to happen. We want to keep this game encouraged. Definitely Legacies just put this game back on the map. I mean, Legacies was an awesome set.
Mm,
Now Rivals is legal as of the 15th coming up in the tournament
yep.
play. So now we get access to these neutral characters in competitive play now, which is awesome. So we're going to be exploring some of that. One thing I wanted to mention. So yes, I did lose round 7, but I did play 16 and I got 7 packs. Now, out of the 7 packs and these super cool clear damage tokens, the
Yeah.
first pack I pulled was a Yoda. So I pulled the pack Yoda. So the second pack I pulled was a Tarkin. No joke. And the third pack was the heavy round blaster. And then I pulled Rebel Cruiser, and I pulled Obi-Wan's lightsaber. That was the next
Yep.
one I pulled. And then I pulled I don't know, some other, two
Some other
characters.
rare, yeah.
Yeah, some other two rares.
But you
Um,
got 3 legendaries from your
yes,
pull of 7 packs.
from 7 packs.
So
So
7 was your lucky number, just not at that moment in time. It was your opponent's lucky
I
number
thought it
then.
was so cool. I felt like it was like all in Alderaan, like all over again. Like I pulled like hardly any packs, and I got these legendaries. Which, if you guys haven't seen All in Alderaan, it's an awesome video, and
It's really goofy. It needs some views,
it
yeah.
does. It was just something we were trying out just to throw out. But so
But
that was the prizes that I pulled, and I felt like that was great for sure.
yeah. So I guess this kind of wraps it up now.
Yeah, guys.
So
So
if you want more of us, you can hit us up on our new Facebook page. We actually made like a legit Facebook
yeah,
page. We mentioned that on Double Blank's Discord channel or Knights of Ren's Discord because um, Ashton is always like lurking on that, even when he's supposed to be. Well, I shouldn't say that. And subscribe to us
yeah,
for
guys.
all kinds
Definitely.
of new content.
Yep, and we'll keep it up. We try to at least release 3 videos a week, and so just make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Just let us know what you like, what you don't like. We'll do some more deck profiles. We're going to be continue doing the build destroy, so we're going to take like 10-15 minutes, throw a deck together real quick on the spot, play them against each other, and see what kind of cool tricks we find out. Then we'll do some more let's plays where we actually are trying to work on a build, and we'll be streaming that now, starting very shortly. We're going to start streaming that and
Yeah,
having you
we're all
guys
set
jump
up for
on.
that.
Yep, so we're all set up for that. We just got to just pick a time to do it. We have Jay, and we have Chris, and then you have Monk, which stream a lot. So
A lot.
we're gonna try to be in somewhere that stream slot, so that way there's kind of always some kind of streaming of Destiny always in place. So we're gonna continue organizing that, so that way we just always have a constant stream where you guys can jump in, you guys can play. We also have some fun. It puts everybody on the spot, so it makes the games a little bit more intense, which is fun. So that's always cool with streaming. So we're going to be jumping in on that next, and focusing on some more builds, a little hardcore.
Yeah. So we'll see you soon.
Yeah, guys, thanks for everything. Thanks for all your support, and y'all take it easy.
Bye bye.